Hello, hello. Well, I thought I would just take a few minutes before my first reading comes today. I'm in my reading room at the shop and talk about a little bit of what's happening with astrology and kind of give you a taroscopy energy of that. So many of you know that I have been writing taroscopes since 1998, where I take the planetary alignment for the month for that sign, and then I pull a card for that sign, and I write what we call tarot scopes, a coming together of the tarot's meaning and energy and the astrology and planetary movement. All right, so today Saturn has moved into Aries. Now, we have felt the energy of the Saturn Neptune conjunction over and over again over the past year or so, really. They've kind of come close, and then one is retrograded or the other is retrograded, and they've moved apart. But they're coming to what's called a perfection, when they will both be at the same degree and minute in Aries. And right now, we're going to be experiencing the energy of Saturn shifting out of Pisces and moving into Aries. Very different energy. When we learn astrology, we always talk about how one sign tries to prepare us for the next, or shows us something to make up for what the last one lacked. For example, all of the little rat pack, Mercury, Mars, Venus, Sun, Moon, they move through Capricorn, and that's the very stiff and restrictive energy of Saturn. Then they moved into Aquarius, and some of them are still there, and that's the more open or innovative part of Saturn. And then one by one, they're all going to be moving into Pisces, which is a little more emotional and kind of makes up for Aquarius's coldness. All right. So then we think about Aries, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So Pisces, this deep thinking, long-term planner, very deep emotional connections, very deep connections to the psyche and the soul. And now, instead of being there, Saturn is moving into Aries, and Neptune recently did that as well. And Aries is the sign that I joke about being ready, shoot, aim, where it just takes off. It says, okay, I'm going to pioneer. I'm going to be first. I'm going to be the leader. I'm going to take control of this situation. And whether I'm right or wrong, I declare myself, the poobah. Very different from Piscean energy. So I just wanted us to think about today's energy, because, again, we are living in very pivotal time where some of these things haven't been seen in thousands of years. So here we have the planet Saturn, represented by the tarot card of the devil. Now remember that the devil brings the divine spark, right? The spark of life. He holds the energy of the stars, that light, and he also holds the energy of the soul. And Saturn, up until this point, we have always viewed as kind of being the planet of restriction and barriers. And now I think as this age of Aquarius comes in, we're going to start to see that these were self-inflicted restrictions, that we might have been listening to an inner voice or outer pressure that made us feel like We couldn't. So, the exalted prisoner. And it's moving in to Aries. So now we have that fiery, pushing ahead, incredible forging out of new things. So Saturn is being drug into the age of Aquarius. It's being drug into new things. And Saturn is the ancient ruler of Aquarius. We talked about Aquarius's expression of Saturn. And they're going to meet up with Neptune, because Neptune is already in Aries, right? So here they are, both coming in to this Martian energy. So now Neptune says, gosh, what phase am I in? Am I a sun or a moon? And am I going to spread gossip, or am I going to listen? Am I just going to make noise because I want to make noise? How do I get people to pay attention? They got to dream. They've got to climb their way out. So when we put these three together, we might want to say, connect to the divine spark. Allow it to inspire you to act. Aries ruled by Mars. And pay close attention to your dreams and help them to become a reality. So they meet their perfection on the 20th, a few days after that eclipse. So think about all the information that you're hearing and all the things you need to filter. And Neptune says it's very much okay. It's a really very good idea to go ahead and dream, right? But Saturn there says, dream with a focus. Dream with implementing things that you've wanted to bring into your reality. And Aries says, time to act. Okay? So within reason and within your life, how can you make changes for the better to bring things that you thought were far in the future into your current view? What are you going to manifest? What are you going to act on? What are you going to dream into being? And that's it for today, folks. I do still have some openings. If anybody wants readings today, I'm doing the yearly tarot scopes, and then I'm also doing past life readings as a birthday special for a couple more months, plus regular tarot readings. All right. So think about it. Today, Saturn moved into Aries, and Pisces is hosting Venus, where she is exalted. So there's that kind of beautiful energy of, what do you really value? What do you really feel is important to add into that mix? So let's get it right, people. Let's not look at the heavy, horrible things that want to weigh us down and keep us in prison. Let's look at the beautiful things, the things of value, and where we're headed, and start to make those things a reality. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Blessed be.